Yes, hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel of Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, ding ding ding, we've reached the third video of the day, as often we do every day, seemingly at the moment. It's at least twice daily, but apparently 3 times a day. I'm here to pump out the content as long as there's things to talk about, and just like Chelsea Football Club, there is always things to talk about. My boy Wes Fofana, he's done his ACL, and Chelsea might buy a centre-back. Well, look, there is positivity. My previous upload, I cited Simon Johnson's piece of The Athletic, and we spoke about the incredible fitness of the Chelsea players behind the scenes, the tactics, the feel-good atmosphere. So if you want some feel-good feels, I'd urge you to go and watch that previous upload. But in the meantime, we're speaking about Wes Fofana, a little bit on Caicedo, update from Jacob Steinberg on The Guardian. So lock yourselves in. Thank you for joining me. I'm always pleased to see you here, dear sweet friend. Thank you for dropping a like. Click of a finger helps me out, and you are, of course, always welcome to subscribe. Right, here's my boy. I love Wes Fofana. I always wanted him. We signed him, and he came back from that pretty horrendous leg injury where he endured a tackle that literally snapped his leg, which is gross. Of course, I hate watching those injuries. But he made a great recovery, and he seemed to have found his form and demonstrate that he's still that guy. But he's done his ACL in training, and this is probably why he came off social media. He's just probably feeling crap, to be honest, and just didn't want to talk about it. And of course, how do we keep getting linked to Harry Maguire? Like, we'll talk about that in a moment. But there are talks of Harry Maguire. Liam Twomey of The Athletic tweeting, Harry Maguire is a left-sided centre-back who's played the vast majority of his best football in a back three. And we're, of course, looking for a right-sided centre-back. But he always gets linked to Chelsea. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's jump into this article from Jacob Steinberg of The Guardian, though. Righty-ho, then, giving like a bit of update on everything. Brighton have rejected a £70 million offer for Moises Caicedo from Chelsea, whose midfielder Conor Gallagher is being pursued by both West Ham and Tottenham. Yes, we spoke about that earlier as well, but it didn't seem like the price being touted for Conor Gallagher was anywhere near enough his value. And I'm done with overpaying for players and I don't want to say sell players for less than they should go for. I think Mount for 60 million, considering he's 12 months left, is pretty good. Kai Havertz for a deal that could be up to £68 million. I mean, that is good business. And even Kovacic for 30. So to be honest, a lot of the main business we've done is pretty good. Talked myself into it. But, people valuing Levi Colwill so little, and now, Conor Gallagher is silly, it's nonsense. So Caicedo is Chelsea's main target as they hunt for midfield reinforcements, and they remain focusing on a compromise with Brighton, who are holding out for the £100 million mark for the Ecuador international. I'm not sure how true is that. Of course, we've read multiple different reports regarding Moises Caicedo, how they would accept. I mean, we did like a 60 million plus 5, an add-on to 65 million or something. It's not enough for the market, especially considering a flat rate 100 million for Declan Rice. I do still think we'll probably get Caicedo for like an 80 million plus 5 add-ons, I don't know, but something like that. But a compromise is thought that we could be reached between the two clubs. The clubs remain in talks, and the expectation is the transfer will go through. That's good. Of course, Caicedo himself is frustrated the deal's not done yet. He's got his heart set on Chelsea. And the club have told him he can leave already, like they told McAllister, who was sold seemingly, well, it feels like an age ago now, With much more of the focus on the midfield, Chelsea could also try and bring in another injured defender, Wesley Fofana, who's undergone surgery on an anterior cruciate ligament injury. So, yes, he has done his ACL. Now, before we read on, Chelsea do have centre-backs. The two left options would remain Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwill, which are very, very good options on the left. And on the right, I still think because we're playing one game a week, that I know Thiago Silva's pushing 40 now, but the fact how he made him play so many appearances last season when we were in Europe and the Cups, that, that's still a matter of months ago. We don't have Europe now. I still think you could probably get away with starting Thiago Silva most weeks, dude. And what, is Trevor Chalobah not good enough? He's a right-sided defender, so I don't really understand why this is a massive issue. Let's read on. Chelsea, who will hope to land Caicedo for £80 million. Yeah, that'd be good. It still sounds ridiculous money, but I'll take it. Are in the process of a major rebuild. You can say that again. And have allowed several key players to depart. Of course, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, Mount, Loftus-Cheek, everyone, and forwards as well, of course. Although Pochettino is short of options in central midfield, further exits have not been ruled out, as there are doubts over Gallagher's future at his boyhood club. And Conor Gallagher wants to play for Chelsea. This is the sad thing. I mean, Mason Mount had made his decision to leave. Gallagher wants to play for Chelsea. He came out and said, look, I'd play for Chelsea for free, which is kind of sad, really, that he's in the shop window. It's the sad and brutal side of football and life that, in this time of turmoil and flip-flopping allegiances, that this guy is just quietly working really hard and is like, yeah, I just want to play for Chelsea. And yet we're the one putting him out in the shop window. Kind of sad, really. Spurs have held talks over a move for the England international, who has 2 years left on his contract. And West Ham are keen to sign 2 midfielders after, of course, they sold Declan Rice to Arsenal. Now, West Ham were going to bid 20 million or 25 million on Conor Gallagher, which is just absolutely incredible, considering we know they've got 100 million cash, like flat, one payment up front. They've got 5 million add-ons to come, £100 million in their pocket, and they're trying to, 20 million quid for Conor Gallagher, who's an England international. Absolutely do one. Borussia Dortmund, Everton and Newcastle have previously targeted Gallagher. So this guy's a man in demand, who's of course had loans at Charlton, Swansea, Palace before breaking into Chelsea's first team squad last season. Monaco's Youssef Fofana is another on West Ham's list. I don't care about West Ham's list. Gallagher excelled when he spent the 21-22 season at Palace, bringing him his first England call-up, and he returned to Chelsea looking to establish himself. However, he's found it hard to earn regular opportunities in central midfield and often found himself in unfamiliar roles. Probably stuff like playing in the front three. He is very much a number 8, number 10 hybrid, really, isn't he? But he's still a good finisher. Like I said, he's a good player to bring on to finish games. I know players want to start, but he's still a useful asset, and that's why we shouldn't undervalue him when considering the sale of Conor Gallagher. His energy and goal-scoring threat appeals to Spurs, who could find it tough to negotiate with Chelsea. West Ham, yeah, do you want to sell to Spurs like a useful player? Gallagher, who started 18 league games last season, will hope for more stability under Pochettino. There is a feeling that the 23-year-old, I don't know why I just did him for 2 years there, 23-year-old who is capable of playing as a number 6 or a number 8 will have a better chance of succeeding at Chelsea if he gets a solid run in his best position. A number 6? He's certainly not like a number 5, like a lone regista, but like a double 6 or whatever. That's what Tuchel thought he could be, didn't he? I don't know though, man. He needs to be in the final third for me. That's what I think. Anyway, it remains to be seen whether Chelsea are prepared to sell Gallagher and how much money they'd want. Certainly more than 20 million quid, I'll tell you that much. You can double it, at least. Enzo Fernandez is their only senior midfielder, who, by the way, is 22 himself? I think he means that only good midfielder. That's probably what Steinberg wanted to write there. Although there is a sense Chelsea could be open to offers for Gallagher, he still has a chance to prove himself. Of course, he's on the tour with Pochettino right now. So Chelsea face Brighton in Philadelphia. That, by the way, is going to be a grudge match. Is that like when we play Brighton then? Are we going to hand over Caicedo in that game? Or we'll at halftime put a Chelsea shirt on him and hide him in the changing rooms, and then make sure that Levi Colwill is nowhere to be seen so they can't rob him. Yes, so we're playing Brighton then, and you can imagine there'll be lots of executives talking about Caicedo. The 21-year-old wants to join Chelsea, and Brighton are prepared to let him leave on their terms. Arsenal tried to sign Caicedo in January but did not come up with enough money, and they bid £70 million. Granted, Brighton didn't need to sell another player in the middle of the season when they were drawing such a good campaign. So you think the price would have been elevated in January because, they achieved their Europa League finish, which is incredible for Brighton. And that's largely because they got to keep Caicedo in the team. But that price should have dropped. But maybe 70 was never close enough. So Brighton have pointed to the fact how Chelsea are breaking the British record, spending £106 million on Fernandes, and of course how much Arsenal have paid for Rice. But Caicedo hasn't. This is me talking now. Caicedo hasn't achieved what those two guys have. They view Caicedo in similar terms, especially signed a new long-term deal. So they want near 100 million, and they want 80 million as the guaranteed fee, which is just like, what are these people? Like, man, I don't understand football business. I'm just like you, but what are they doing in these days and weeks? I mean, clearly these people are doing something right. I just don't understand it. My small, silly little brain doesn't understand how they sit around for weeks going, right, we're ready. We're going to bid 60 million after people in the media have known for long that won't be enough. So I don't get it. If it is likely talks would proceed more smoothly if Chelsea basically would let Levi Colwill be part of the deal. Brighton had Colwill on loan last season, and they're willing to basically make a record transfer purchase for him, but we've said no. The chances of Chelsea selling the 20-year-old are low, given that Fofana could miss most. Well, they were low anyway, because Chelsea said no, Levi Colwill is not for sale, just straight up. But now Wesley Fofana's done his ACL as well, so that's another centre-back that's gone. And we've sold Koulibaly, and Colwill could start against Liverpool the opening weekend. You could have bet your bottom dollar he would. And then, of course, like I said, the aforementioned Silva, Badiashile, and Trevor Chalobah. I mean, technically, that's fine. That's 4 centre-backs into a 2 centre-back system. That is enough. That is enough. And Reece James can play a centre-back in a free in a pinch. And when you do that, the sweeper can be like a midfielder, usually, So, Ruben Loftus-Cheek played the sweeper role before. Do you know what I mean? So there is options there. Yeah, Fofana's missed about 12 months of action because of 3 injuries. I'm really worried about him, man. We've spoken recently about being concerned about Reece James and his injury woes. Fofana, man, he's young. He's so good. He could be the best centre-back in the Premier League. I genuinely believe that. I believe him and Levi Colwill could be the best centre-back partnership in the Premier League for many, many years. And, I don't ever come out with sweeping statements like that often, but I do genuinely believe that. But the dude has to keep his legs together. This is so, so sad. Sad for me because I, backed it massively. But in terms of other midfield targets, Chelsea are still looking at Romeo Lavia, who's also been looked at by Arsenal and Liverpool and United. Gabri Veiga is another option. I think that's gone cold a little bit. And also, he didn't play very well in the Euros final, where Noni Madueke and Levi Colwill triumphed over his Spain team to win the trophy themselves. 9 first-team players have left Chelsea this summer, and they're in talks with Marseille, of course, to sell Aubameyang, and looks like they're going to do a 3-year deal. Fulham are expected to make an improved bid for Callum Hudson-Odoi, having their first rejected, but I still have got a gut feeling that that deal will get done. Ziyech, Romelu Lukaku are being pursued by Juventus and Al Hilal. And it's dependent Lukaku's move to Juve is somewhat dependent on them selling Vlahovic to Paris Saint-Germain. Right. Do we need to buy another centre-back? I don't think so. I think we've got 2 on the right side, Silva and Trevo, and we've got 2 on the left side, Benoit and Levi. It sucks to see this happen to Wes Fofana, but the headlines that are popping around about, Chelsea emergency signing Harry Maguire. Look, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm an England fan, and Harry Maguire has been often very good for England. And I'm very mindful about slagging players off because I feel like we probably do it too often. But he's 30 years old, which, maybe we do need a bit more seniority. I know we've got Thiago Silva, but that's it. Now Koulibaly's gone. But he's not the one. Just as Liam Twomey tweeted, he plays on the left side and he's done his best work in the back 3. He would probably love the move. Coming down to southwest London, wearing the Chelsea blue, getting rid of that, just fever dream of the Man United experience, having the captaincy strip, just putting on a new jersey, a new colour, a new dawn. I'm sure he'd like that. I don't want to sign Harry Maguire. And neither do any of you watching this. In a reality, away from the memes, away from the joke culture, there's probably a player still in there that, is good. He's very good aerially. He used to be very good at Hull, and then for a time at Leicester, marauding out of the back, carrying the ball, which was great, and it was exciting. That Harry Maguire has gone, ladies and gentlemen. There was a reason why, Harry Maguire was a record fee for a centre-back and still remains the case. Who's I guess Matthias de Ligt is behind him. Oh, no, it would be Virgil van Dijk. Still, there's a reason why it cost that much. Overpaid, of course, but, there's a reason why Leicester thought they could mug people off. It makes you think, when Harry Maguire cost 80 million from Leicester, this is where Brighton have got it from, haven't they? Another team, a different team in blue that's not Chelsea, they think, we just put massive price tags on things. Like Leicester did very well. Of course, they sold Mahrez for pretty decent money. Obviously, we got Kante for an absolute snip. I look at Chilwell for 48 million or 50 million pounds as a great deal now, considering the level of player he is and level of, the level he can play at left back in the Premier League, and, that underrated performance he put in the Champions League final when we beat Man City. Incredible, really. Yeah. Look, I don't think we're going to buy Harry Maguire. I think we're okay as we are. I feel like just buying another centre-back will cause problems in the squad because hopefully, touch wood, Wesley Fofana will come back and be a Chelsea player. He's on a long-term deal. He's a young, awesome player. But it's tough. It's tough, man. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I look forward to reading your thoughts down in the comment section. Of course, multiple uploads per day here on the channel, and you can enjoy that by subscribing and hitting that bell notifications icon. Okay, I'm out. Take care of yourselves, and peace.